At the full moon, energy levels are high and come to the surface. Emotions feel more intense, as if someone has switched the dial on. You want to express outward that which is inside you. With Mercury, the conscious mind, conjunct Sun, you might start to become aware that those emotions that you are feeling are really a consequence of your thoughts, and they come as a response to the meanings that you assign to your experiences and perceptions. If you want to change your emotions, a great place to start is becoming aware of those thoughts that you had right before you felt the emotion, and start to observe how your thoughts really create your emotions. Uranus is squaring this full moon from the Taurus and providing friction that is necessary for the growth. It asks how authentic your creative expression is to who you really are. Uranus is here to illuminate things that show you parts of yourself that are not as authentic as they could be. Don't let this awareness bring you down. This is not the best use of that awareness. Its true use is so that you can see yourself as if from the side, as an external observer, and see where changes can be implemented that in the long term will bring you closer to the person that you actually want to be. Not only that, implementing this change will make you feel better about yourself. Without this awareness, you simply wouldn't know what it is that you want to change, so you wouldn't be able to work on yourself. This full moon is taking place in Leo, the fixed fire sign, representing the radiance of the sun itself. The moon is a ruler of our subconscious mind because its gravity rules all the waters on earth by creating tides. This full moon in Leo illuminates patterns that exist within us, something that is so familiar to you that for you is completely normal and you don't even notice it before. However, if you would look back to your life, you would see that the same pattern is coming up over and over again, being expressed in your behavior. You notice that you keep repeating it again and again, and every time you get the same result and you are disappointed with it. If you notice any disappointment coming up around this time, pay very close attention. Your task is to notice that disappointment and ask yourself question, why? Why does it keep happening? What is the behavior that I keep repeating? You have this answer already within you. All you need to do is to create a space so that it can come to the surface and you can hear it. It will come as a sudden revelation, like a lightning flash from the clear sky, and you will see for yourself the behavior that you are repeating and how the same behavior end up hurting you. You are the only one that can stop it, and your awareness is the key because more represents the subconscious realms, the behaviors that are automatic and so familiar to us that we are kind of blind to them. That which is rejected from the conscious mind still keeps affecting you, but on a subconscious mind without your awareness. When you pay attention and become aware, you are then enabled to see the bigger picture that you didn't see before. Not only that, you also see what changes you need to make in your life to make sure that you are not being hurt the same way again. But the first step to change is to forgive yourself for not knowing better. You didn't know before, and that is okay. Now you know, and that is what is truly important. Now let's look at this full moon from the Sabian degree perspective. Sabian degrees assign images to each sign of the zodiac. This full moon's placement is 24 to 25 Leo, which gives an image of a large camel is seen crossing a vast and forbidding desert. And the sun is right opposite to it within a zodiac sign Aquarius, 24 to 25 degrees, which gives us an image, a butterfly with the right wing more perfectly formed. You could interpret it as bringing transformation in your life through awareness of imperfections or things that are being illuminated by the sun that need to be changed and improved upon. Those improvements will have a long-term consequence and will make you more resilient, strong and more resourceful in the face of any adversity or hardship. Not only that, those changes will also bring more connection between you, your environment, and other people, because camel can travel long distances and connect to places seemingly unreachable. Now let's take a look at different sun, moon, and ascendant signs and what areas are being illuminated for you. Let's start with Aries and then go towards the Pisces. For Aries, this full moon is taking place in the 5th house and is illuminating subconscious patterns that you have related to your creative expression. You have an opportunity to become aware on some changes that could be implemented in your life, in the way that you express yourself, content you are making, including artworks that you are making too. There is an opportunity to become more authentic to who you really are. Patterns that come up for you will be related to the audience for whom you are making your content or expressing your art. This full moon might bring a revelation for you about who your ideal audience is, and this could bring changes in the way how you choose to express yourself. For Taurus, this full moon is taking place in the 4th house and is illuminating subconscious patterns that you might have picked up from your parents. something that your parents were struggling with, and you now might come to a realization that you also see the same patterns within yourself. You might become aware of actions that you could take that could help you to put stop to this generational trauma that is being passed down from one generation to the next. You may come to realizations that give you an opportunity to see your own parents in a different light when you realize that it wasn't their fault too, since you see that it didn't originate with them, but it is being passed down from one generation to the next until someone takes action and puts stop to it. Forgiveness to yourself and to your family tree is a key for you in this full moon. For Gemini, this full moon is taking place in the 3rd house, and it is eliminating your own mental processes and subconscious errors that exist in your perception. You might become aware of something that you thought in your mind was one way, but it turns out to be another way. An error that resulted from looking at appearances and projecting meaning to them that was not true. You are now being shown the error and revealed the true meaning so that you can correct the error in your own interpretation going forward. You are being shown the bigger picture that you didn't see before. The bigger picture helps you to see which small details were incorrectly attached and don't make sense to be there. This full moon is correcting your perception. For Cancer, this full moon is in the 2nd house and is illuminating where you have even taken too much responsibility or not enough responsibility for the things that you are responsible for. You might become aware of some things breaking, and you are asked to pay attention if this is the case and understand if you have been neglecting something or giving too much of your attention. You have now an opportunity to achieve more balance when it comes to your resources, responsibilities, and your values. For Leo, this full moon is taking place in the 1st house, and it is illuminating patterns that come up with people with whom you are having one-to-one relationships or partnerships. Something in your behavior will be illuminated in your consciousness to give you an opportunity to use this full moon to be better able to relate to your partner or with people with whom you interact on one-to-one basis. For Virgo, this full moon is taking place in the 12th house and is illuminating subconscious patterns concerning your spirituality and your relationship with your own spirit and higher powers. You also might receive important revelations concerning your day-to-day actions through spiritual experiences. You might remember an important dream that comes to illuminate a problem that you have and gives you an idea how to solve it. You might become aware of an old habit that keeps you stuck and receive a sudden realization with steps that you can take to overcome it. For Libra, this full moon is taking place in the 11th house and illuminating subconscious patterns related to your ambitions and goals and online groups that you are part of. You might come to realize that the group that you were part of is not bringing you closer to your goals and choose to change to a different group that actually is bringing you closer to the goals or to what you want to be or where you want to go. In case you do feel the group that you are associated with is right for you, you might become aware of something new about it that you were not aware before, or you might receive new ideas of how you could express yourself better within this group environment in general, or any group environment in general. For Scorpio, this full moon is taking place in the 10th house and is illuminating subconscious patterns within your own psychology that keeps you stuck in your comfort zone and give you an opportunity to overcome some fear and take action that you truly want to take in your heart, but you're feeling a bit scared because it's outside your comfort zone. You've never done it before. Guess what? To grow, you need to get out of your comfort zone. Get uncomfortable, and you will be glad that you did. For Sagittarius, this full moon is taking place in the 9th house, so it illuminates subconscious patterns related to your beliefs and how you perceive yourself. You don't perceive that which you don't believe in, and it is filtered out by your subconscious mind. This full moon might illuminate some belief that you hold about yourself that is not true to who you are anymore, that you have outgrown, and it is time to let it go. Because you start to notice how it is limiting you, so that you can expand beyond who you believed you can be. For Capricorn, this full moon is taking place in the 8th house and illuminates some subconscious patterns that reflect your woundedness that is somehow related to your past and can surge back some memories because you might be finding yourself in a situation that reminds you of that situation in the past. If this is so, then know that this situation is coming up so that you can resolve it. You have grown since the last time, and now you are seeing world with a different eyes. You have a power to rise above and transcend any situation. Your past experiences don't define you. You can use any part hurt that you have overcome as your present resource and find the new and creative ways to cope with any situation. For Aquarius, this full moon is in the 7th house and is illuminating subconscious patterns that you have through your partners or one-to-one relationships or partnerships in your life. It might bring situations where your own behavior is reflected back to you by your partner, allowing you to see as if watching yourself from the side like a neutral observer. Reflect on how did it make you feel and what can you learn from your partnerships about yourself. For Pisces, this full moon is in the 6th house and illuminates subconscious patterns that you have related to your work environment, your day-to-day activities, that also includes your habits. Especially, some habits could be eliminated that you have that are not good for you and you would benefit in working to letting them go, to transcend them, but because you notice that they bring you pain and suffering, but you want inner peace and clearly it doesn't serve you anymore because having it doesn't make you feel good about yourself. If you become aware of such a habit that needs changing, visualize the future several years after you have let go of it and how do you feel after a couple of years. This will help you to find the motivation to implement the changes and to connect with more positive future.